Hey, good morning. This is Jason Che with Sutherfield, and I'm here with Seth from Post Purchase Growth today, and we'll be talking about discussing the strategy for AOV funnel. I can hear a little bit of echo from your end. Do you hear that too, Seth?
Yeah, I'm getting a little bit of something.
Okay,
Is that better?
let's see. Sorry about the technical difficulty we're having. Let me change my audio really quick, see if that'll be better. Uh, Okay. Can you hear me better?
You're coming through just fine, Jason.
Okay. Yeah. So today's discussion we'll be sharing different strategy for AOV funnel today, which is a very unique strategy for driving external traffic to Amazon. So, but I will have Steph kind of talk a little bit more and explaining the concept, and we can dive into the details. So.
Yeah, Jason, thanks so much for having us today. Sean had planned to be here, but he's having technical difficulties, so I'm standing in again. But I will walk through the AOV funnel. So
Okay.
the big problem as an Amazon seller is that Amazon rewards external traffic, especially high quality external traffic, with a lot of keyword ranking. So that means that if you can get traffic from an email or Facebook ad or a Google ad or a YouTube ad to land on your listing, then Amazon will move it up in the search results a lot of times, whether or not a purchase is actually even made. So that means that if your big keyword is sitting on, if your listing is sitting on page 2 for your big keyword that is important to you, and if you run a Facebook ad or a Google ad and you start sending traffic to your listing, even if that traffic doesn't result in a sale, you'll move up and you'll be on page 1, and then you'll get more sales organically from Amazon. Well, the problem is that Facebook and Google and these external ad platforms are really hard to make profitable. So yes, you can rank your products, but a lot of times it's really tough to get your money back. So what we've been able to do, Jason, is use what we call an AOV funnel, or average order value funnel, that we send our traffic through before we send it on to Amazon. So the whole idea is, Jason, that if I am running a Google ad for my pizza cutter and somebody goes to Google and they type in pizza cutter and they see my ad, we don't send them directly onto my pizza cutter listing on Amazon. We actually have a funnel, which is just a fancy name for some web pages that are very strategic in what they do. We have a funnel that takes the traffic and we say, okay, great, you want this pizza cutter? Click add to cart. And the page looks very similar to Amazon, but remember, it's our page. And then on the second page, we don't take them onto Amazon at this point. We say, okay, would you like to also add and then you insert whatever other product that you have in your brand line. In this case, we'll say, would you like to also add a pizza stone? And then, okay, so some customers will do that and they'll click add to cart or no thanks, depending on what they want. And then we won't take them onto Amazon yet. Again, we'll take them to another page and say, hey, wait, we do have another special offer. And we also have this pizza pan. Would you like to add that to your cart? Long story short, Jason, we offer them multiple products before we take them on Amazon. And here's the cool part. You can actually use a link that when they say, okay, I'm ready to go and check out, they land on Amazon with all 3 of those products already in their cart. And so they buy a lot more from you. And the reason why this is so powerful is because if I have to pay Google $20 to get that one customer and I only have them buy my $10 pizza cutter, well, I'm losing money. But if I can have that same $20 transaction that I'm paying for Google ads, if I can have that customer buy a pizza cutter for $10, a pizza stone for $30, and a pizza pan for $15, my transaction size, or my average order value, is so much bigger that I can make that ad profitable and I get all the ranking. Does that make sense to you, Jason?
Yeah, I think this is something I also did for my brand. Of course, the setup is a little bit different, but the main concept is how can you pay the most amount of money to acquire a customer and still win? That's where the AOV or average order value come in, because if you can stack all the different offer up, and then your average order value for that one transaction could be potentially a lot higher when you're offering more than just a single pizza cutter. You're offering more of the other related product. Then then you can afford to pay more for do the advertising, and that's really how you win in digital marketing. And that's something that Russell Brunson also talk a lot about in his book, and a lot of the training he does as well. So
Yeah, great point. And actually, we build those funnels a lot of times on Russell Brunson's platform called ClickFunnels because it makes it easy, right? All you do is you go into a page builder and then you make your offer look kind of like Amazon, so the customer feels comfortable. And then you don't make it link directly to your Amazon page. You just build another page where the customer gets to see your upsell or your downsell, depending on what is being offered. The simplest way to do this, Jason, is to simply offer your customer more quantity. So you might think that somebody might only want one pizza cutter, but in actuality, the data shows that whatever product they purchase from you is the most likely product that they're going to buy from you again. So because of that, you can offer them a second pizza cutter at a discount, and then automatically your AOV comes up. So then you can make ads profitable. So the whole concept, Jason, is you're right. Let's get our average order from our customer higher, and then especially when you're paying for the ads. Does that all make sense?
So I'm just trying to figure out the actual setup of it. So do you also collect people's information before they finish the transactions, or like how do you actually set it up?
Well, we've done it both ways. One way, and Jason, I'm sorry we don't have our screen share up today because we're having some technical difficulties on the screen share side. But we can share the actual full presentation where people can see exactly how this looks. We already have that set up for you. It's the same link as last week. It's postpurchasepro.com/fuel. So if you guys want to see the full build out of how this all plays together, just go to that site and you'll see the AOV funnel training. But how it works, Jason, is there's a couple different ways you can do it. One is you can just have it seamlessly go on to Amazon and land them in their cart with all of those products that they added in your funnel, or you could have them, after they add a product to their cart, they could give you their email address to get a coupon delivered through their email, which is another thing we've done, which is really nice because it builds your list, and then you can follow up with those customers multiple times to help create the sale. So a couple different ways to do it. We always would prefer to build the list because you know that we are huge proponents of using email and text marketing because of that's our specialty, and we've made a lot of money. And here's one interesting stat for you, Jason. We used to run a Shopify store for one of our brands. It was a pillow brand, and we would buy ads from Google and Facebook, and people would come and land on our Shopify store. And the funny thing is, Jason, if I never sent any of those customers an email, we wouldn't have made any sales at all, hardly. We would capture their emails with a like a Wheelio or something like that, where it would give them a coupon. But the interesting statistic for me was our average customer wouldn't buy from us until they had gotten 4 emails from us. Now, Amazon has a lot more trust than we did on our Shopify store, but the point is still true that if you can capture the email in your AOV funnel and then follow up with them, especially when you're sending them back to Amazon, you'll make even more money.
Yeah, that's a good point. And a lot of people say, oh, email marketing is dead. Email marketing is dead. It's not really dead. You just need to use it correctly. And this is something we also see in our Shopify store. I think our current email revenue is account for like 30% of overall Shopify revenue. That's like pretty, I mean, if you do it properly, that should be the number that you're trying to shoot for, at least like 30% or roughly. Is that also like the revenue percentage that you see when you do email marketing for your Shopify store in the past?
On average, across all of our businesses, our revenue from email and text marketing is 41%, Jason.
Whoa,
So it's
okay,
a massive
really
percentage. It's a
that's
massive
big.
percentage.
That's huge.
Yeah, we were just talking to another really big seller a couple days ago, and he brought up why no one ever uses email marketing, and he was kind of singing the same song that we're singing, that everybody thinks email marketing's dead, but in his business, he says it's worth 48% of his sales. So you're absolutely right. And if you think about all of the social media and all these communication platforms, email is a little bit unique because if you're scrolling through TikTok, it's kind of shallow videos. If you're looking at Instagram, it's the same thing. If Facebook, you might be in a group or something with an interesting conversation, or a text message is just kind of a short form blast. But An email is almost like a personal conversation. If you sent me an email, Jason, I can read it when I'm like sitting there being quiet and have my thoughts about me, and I'm not overloaded with video content and all these things. It's like a personal message from you to me. So it's much more connective than a lot of other media outlets that we have now. So email is really, really powerful. And it's kind of crazy to us that people are ignoring it. So 41% of our revenue comes from it. Our entire company, Post Purchase Pro, is based around it because we've seen how strong it is when Amazon sellers use it. I 100% agree with you, Jason. People need to pay attention to building an email list and then reaching out to their customers and just giving value and then asking those customers to buy more, and you're going to make a lot more money.
Yeah, that's a very good point. But I want to go back to your previous kind of conversation about like driving external traffic to the funnel that you're building. Do you have a suggestion on the platform that you currently see the best? Because I know since the post iOS update with Facebook, it's getting a little bit trickier to get like profitable traffic from Facebook and Instagram compared to before.
Or Amazon.
Suggestion on that?
Yeah, good point. Facebook is still strong, but Amazon sellers have a good head start if they use Google, because Google and Amazon are structured similarly with their search terms, right? So Google is a search platform, Amazon uses a search platform. So you can use the same data that your PPC is showing you on Amazon and just replicate that data over in Google, because the people are very, very similar. So somebody typing in pizza cutter on Amazon and somebody typing in pizza cutter on Google is most likely a very similar avatar. So what I can do is I can run my sponsored ads report on Amazon and say, okay, my best performing keyword on Amazon is pizza cutter. I'm going to make sure that I use that in my Google ad and I just replicate it over there. And then over there on Google, I have an advantage because I can take them through a funnel before I take them onto Amazon. On Amazon, it's Amazon's funnel. They get to decide what is shown with frequently bought together. They get to decide what other products are on your page. But when you build the funnel from your Google ad, you get to decide what you're displaying your customers. So you get to offer them products only in your store. So it is a big advantage. So just for a hack, take simply what you already know is working on Amazon and replicate it on Google. And we're seeing really, really strong results. We're actually profitable. We're covering our ad cost. We're building a list of emails for our customers to reach out to in the future. And then at the end of the day, we are moving up the keyword results page on Amazon. So we're making more sales without having to buy more sponsored ads on Amazon.
I see. And one more thing is, I think we are able to upgrade our live stream platform. You can actually do screen share now.
So maybe perfect. We'll do it next week.
Yeah, next week we can try the screen share so people can see some real example. And of course, people can still go visit postpurchasepro.com/fuel to download the additional information and the slide deck, hopefully. And I was actually at that page. That seems to be a minor issue where it doesn't go all the way in the end. But we can talk offline about that page.
We'll make sure that's running. But on that page, postpurchasepro/fuel, it has the three strategies from last week, Jason. It has the video training with the full presentation. So it has the Amazon value stack about how you can make a listing on Amazon using affiliate products that is incomparable, so you can make more sales. It has the Tripwire product, how you can build a list of customers to launch any product to. And then it'll also have what we're talking about today, the AOV funnel with the full presentation. It's actually a video presentation where we walk you through exactly what this looks like and then how to do it.
Okay. And any other thing you want to add about the strategy? Like what other things people should be looking for or like thinking about?
Yeah. So the thing that's happening right now on Amazon is everybody's getting squeezed into sponsored ads. They're restricting rebates. They're restricting these other tactics that people were using. Some people are still doing it and trying to get away with it, but Amazon's getting smarter. And so everybody's getting pushed into Amazon sponsored ads. And what's happening is that consolidation is making the prices go up, which Amazon loves. Of course they want that. So they're trying to squeeze everybody in there, and then everybody has to bid higher to get the same traffic. Well, that sucks all of the profit out of an Amazon business really, really quickly. So in today's landscape, Jason, you have to think outside of the box. You have to think like a real marketer. And to do that, you need to do some of these strategies that we're talking about. You need to figure out a way to drive your own traffic that is not so competitive. And one of the best places to do that's on Google. Another great place is on YouTube if you have some video content, and send them through a funnel. It's really, really simple once you can see it. So I would check out that video that we have for you. And then I would say the other things to think about right now is, because of what I just said, because everybody's getting pushed into sponsored ads, you have to figure out a way to set yourself apart and give your customers a reason to convert. And that's what we talked about a couple weeks ago, is how can we make a listing that has so much value that our customers would still feel silly picking anybody else's product. And so we talked about the pizza cutter listing, but then giving that same customer a Domino's pizza. And then Domino's is actually paying us an affiliate commission. So there's all these different things that if you think outside of the box, and if you think like a real marketer, you can figure out ways to really do well on Amazon. But if you're just buying sponsored ads, it's going to be tough.
Yeah, I totally agree. That's something we're also seeing across our own Amazon PPC. As the cost is going up, it's harder to gain visibilities, and the A cost is also going up. So it's very, very important to have a traffic or at least a marketing strategy outside of Amazon that can complement whatever the effort you're doing within the Amazon system. Since is even really, really hard to, because like at the end of the day, like I always mention, Amazon customer is not our customer, it's their customer.
Yeah.
But how can we create a direct channel of communication by using some of the strategy that you have been sharing with us in the past few weeks, as far as how do we create something outside of Amazon that we can have a more direct way to communicate with our customer, and we can drive them to Amazon or wherever we want if we have their emails or also their phone number for email marketing and SMS marketing. That's where you can actually have that direct communication with them over time, instead of just relying on hopefully Amazon will show your product in front of people. So
Right. So you don't want to just wish and hope that Amazon's going to take care of you, because they're probably not. They're going to take care of their customers and then themselves for sure. So I think the biggest mental shift for us, Jason, was we started viewing ourselves not as an Amazon seller, but we started viewing ourselves as a product brand. And then we used Amazon as an acquisition channel for our real business. And so if you think about yourself as an independent business that is not tied to Amazon, but you are using Amazon as a third-party marketplace, then you start to say, okay, well, Amazon has customers that they're sending me. And if I view it as a profitable customer acquisition channel where I am bringing customers into my real business and my real brand, then you're going to start engaging them. You're going to start communicating with them outside of Amazon, and you're going to build a real asset, which is your customer list, and have that audience that you can use. And you can build that customer list in all three of the ways that we talked about over the last 3 weeks, Jason. I'm excited to share that stuff. postpurchasepro.com/fuel. Check out all those trainings.
yeah, I'll post the link here again in the chat. Just if people missed it, they can go find it again. But I think that's one. I see a few people that's watching live right now, and go ahead and post the question that you might have regarding about the concept that we're talking about related to external traffic, because that seems to be a very hot topic recently in the e-commerce space, especially for those of us that's also selling on Amazon. But I 100% agree back to what you were just sharing earlier about creating the presence outside, because that's what a typical D2C brand usually does. They don't have traffic, and they need to figure out how to really drive traffic to their Shopify store and creating that relationship with the customer. And sometimes when people get so reliant on Amazon, they forgot about that. They just like, okay, this is very easy. I just need to rank and people will buy, and they are just treating it as a transaction instead of building the relationship. And I think that's something that Post Purchase Pro is also doing a really good job on helping other people with your services on creating that long-term relationship with the potential customer. So it's more than just a one-time transaction. So
yeah, Jason, that's where 41% of our sales come from. That's where more than that of our profits come from. Because if you think about it, if you sell through an email, you didn't have to pay any sponsored ads. So that additional sale that you created is at maximal profitability. So those additional 41% of sales that we're making in our business are more profitable than the first 59%. So more of our profits are coming from email and text marketing than any other thing that we do. And if you're looking at Amazon as a transaction machine where every day you get to log in and refresh the sales and the sales are there, and that's all you really think about, well, I think you're missing the bigger point. The bigger point is that each one of those transactions are customers and people that you're serving. And if you can interact with them and provide value outside of Amazon, you're going to have a much more successful business.
100%. I do agree with that. But I think what is get kind of overwhelming for people that's kind of new to doing this is like they don't really know where to start. Do you have a suggestion for people that's looking into some of the strategy that you have been sharing? And what is the first place to start?
If you're new, the first place to start would be to simply think about what would your customer, when they're opening up the package, actually want. If you're selling a pizza cutter, what is the first thing that they would want? What could I give that customer in that moment that would cause them to come to my website and to opt in? And so you just think about how can you add value? And it could be instructions. It could be a warranty if your product's more expensive. It could be how-to videos. It could be the three things that people make mistakes, like how to avoid making mistakes with my product. Just think about how you can add value to your customer and put that inside of your packaging in a way that they cannot miss it, and have them go to a page where they can interact with you and give you their email address. The building the audience is the first part, and then you need to continue that conversation. Jason, if I met you today and I didn't talk to you for the next 5 years, well, you probably wouldn't really remember me too much. But if I emailed you tomorrow and I sent you a text message the next day and saying, hey, Jason, it was great to meet. So glad you're in my network. And then you treat the customers the same way. You want to maintain that relationship. So when you start to build an audience, don't ignore them. Actually reach out. They want to hear from you.
Yeah, that's a very good point. So thank you so much for joining us on today's call. Do we want, can you give a sneak preview on what we're going to be talking about next week?
So next week is actually my most favorite topic that we're going to be talking about. I don't know if it'll be Sean or I, but one of us will be sharing what we call creative cloning. And creative cloning is the fastest way that we've ever doubled our sales on Amazon on the front end. We talk about post-purchase marketing a lot, but in creative cloning, we actually show you how to increase the sales that you're already making on Amazon. And it's so simple. I'll have to tell it to you 2 or 3 times so you really get it. But once you do, you're like, wow, the biggest brands in the world do this. I need to be doing this. And it's very, very simple. So I'm really excited to share how to double your sales on Amazon, Jason.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you so much for your time today. Let me end the live stream and